everyone, welcome back to our channel. This is Dropping Facts with Dr. Jax, and I am here with our amazing health coach, Rania Chami, and we are so excited to have a bit of an interview today because some of you don't know her. And she's been here since the beginning, since our inception, right? I couldn't even pay her. I was like, I don't know, I don't know how this is all gonna work, but I knew she was such an asset to our practice. And so I wanted to have her be on board and secure her location with us. And so we're just gonna kind of vamp a little bit and talk about what you do. So tell me, what is your title? What do you do?
I am a nutrition and life coach. I do nutrition and I deep dive into the life and all the basic things that get you to where you're at this point.
Yeah, and I think this is really critical. And this is what I tell my patients because it is the basics of what gets you into your best health for life. But we don't know what those things are culturally. As a society, I think we've vastly grown away from that. We went through the whole food pyramid of the 1980s.
Oh.
We can talk about that for 6 episodes.
Yeah.
We were taught about, eat 6 meals a day. Then we talk about keto carnivore. Then we talk about intermittent fasting. And then, but you're supposed to do HIIT training. And then you're supposed to do intensive cardio. No, you're supposed to do CrossFit. No, yoga Pilates. And okay. And then even from a physician standpoint, I think we got about 43 minutes max of any kind of knowledge base on nutrition. We really weren't schooled effectively to say, well, when do I eat? Do I eat first thing when I wake up? Do I eat within 30 minutes of a meal? 30 minutes of a meal. Please don't eat 30 minutes within a meal. Your mom will yell at you for being full.
Yeah.
Should I eat 30 minutes within working out? Is that before working out? After working out? Do I carb load? Do I protein load? When should I protein load? How many grams of protein? So all of these very specific nuances of how to do the life and nutrition thing.
Yes.
That's Rania's specialty. So I can tell you, lean protein, fruits, vegetables, minimize whole grains, cut out ultra processed foods. Here's your grocery list. It's still not that helpful because I don't know about you. I'll walk at the farmer's market and I have no freaking idea what to do with a panny pan squash. I don't know how to cook these things. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing.
And that's okay. Okay, so this is where we complement each other, right?
Yes.
So for me, yes, you're going to handle all the medical stuff, the supplements, all these things that make sure that eliminate that you have a medical situation, right?
Correct.
So once we do that, then I come along and I do it very personalized. I go through each and every person's lifestyle, habits, eating style, all these things, and we tweak it little by little. So there's no one size fits all. There's no one diet fits all. There's no keto, Atkins, protein, carnivore, all these things. Doesn't work for everybody the same. So if I tell you go keto and I give you have 50 grams of protein or fat in the morning or whatever it is, then you're like, no, I don't like it. It doesn't fit my lifestyle. It's making me throw up. I'm never going to eat that. Then it's not sustainable. Then why am I giving this to you? It's not going to work out.
Correct.
So the nice thing about my program and the way we do it together is that I get it very personalized based on your recommendation of what they need, right? And then based on whatever comes out in their labs and everything, we go through every little thing and I tweak little things. So small steps.
Yes.
And that makes it more sustainable and they actually understand why they're doing this. Why am I eating this? Why am I eating that? Why am I not eating this? Because if you go to another place, let's say, and they give you just this random diet and here, do it, then it's not really, you don't understand what's really happening. You're just eating it on automatic and then you're not even realizing that it's really, this is what I need to do because I need this and this.
My labs showed this. Yes.
Exactly. And it turns into a relationship and it turns into, I really want to know more about your lifestyle. What's really triggering you? Are you getting upset and then going to the pantry? Are you, doing all this stuff?
I am such an emotional eater. And I think that a lot of us don't recognize how much of an emotional attachment we have to food, to meals, to the social setting of it. I am not gonna lie, I hide my little chocolate stash because I don't want my family to have it. And I mean, if that's the worst thing I do,
that's okay. And again,
but I think when we recognize those things, then we can either make corrective behavior, and I think that's kind of the same attitude that I have towards your labs. If you just come in and I said, okay, I've looked at your labs and you need to take this, and this supplement, and you're going to feel great, and I'll see you back in 3 months, most patients are going to fall off. Now, if I say, look, your ESR is elevated, which is an inflammatory marker, and your fish oil is going to help you with this, so that's why you need to be on fish oil. And then Rania likewise looks at this and says, you need to add more fish in your diet. This is the type of fish you need to be eating and where it needs to be harvested and so forth. Then you feel much more in control. You understand exactly why you're doing that change and how it's going to best affect you. And we also have that same attitude of like slow and steady wins the race.
100%.
And faster is not always better. So I think it is probably a lot of you out there, comment below, right? How many of us have been on the crash fad diets? We did the cabbage diet. Remember the cabbage soup diet? Eat 8 bananas in a day with milk. Can you imagine?
And the low fat where you can't touch any fat. And it's like,
low fat, artificial sugars, all the diet food you want, have all the diet Jello, all the diet Coke you want, all the coffee, just add as much artificial sweetener as you want. I mean, we've all been through this, especially as products of Gen X. We have been through all the, the margarines and the artificial this and artificial that, because it's way better for you.
Oh, God.
Low fat, low sugar, no sugar. What else have we done? High fat, high protein, low carb, no carb, like all the stuff. And like Rania was alluding to, they're not sustainable. They're not necessarily healthful in all respects. There are a few exceptions where like a keto carnivore or like a whole food plant-based diet, like they're like pretty extreme, can be beneficial, but those are the exception more than the rule.
For a short period of time.
Yes,
maybe.
absolutely.
And not even fasting. If fasting is going to make you not eat for the whole day and then go binge at night, then it's not working for you.
Yeah, if then what we do eat is a whole, gang of ding-dongs or whatever. I haven't had a ding-dong in a long time.
It's okay.
I don't even know if I miss it though.
You don't need
like
to.
I don't.
No,
yeah.
Not at all.
So, it all has to come down to these small interval changes, learning your system, what's working for you best. And what I love about Rania is that she's a real whole human. As I said, without giving up our ages, we're Gen X. So what I mean by that is that we see a lot of these influencers, right?
Yes.
And they're maybe a personal trainer or a gym rat, and she's 23 years old, different physique. She's in the gym, living there, food prepping 6 hours twice a week. Girl, I'm busy. We've both got teenage kids. We've got, college prepping and SATs and final exams, and somebody's got volleyball practice, and we're running around. We're on the go. We're professionals. We're both entrepreneurs. We have actual life things that get in the way of us maybe being able to stand in the kitchen and food prep for 6 hours. And so being able to speak with somebody who has an understanding of your busy lifestyle, of what your work requirements are, maybe you're traveling, maybe you're a real estate agent and you're in the car all day. Well, then that's great to say, hey, make a protein shake. But have you ever made a protein shake in a car?
There's ways around it, let me tell you.
I don't know them.
It's horrible. There you go. That's where
horrible.
I come handy.
Yes.
Because I can give you these little tiny tips that will really change your life. You don't even have to make a shake. You can even buy a pre-made shake and put it in the fridge, and that, things like that. Little things. I meal prep every Monday. I hope I didn't mess this up. And but even that, you can make it as complicated or as simple as you want.
Yes.
You can chop vegetables and leave them in your fridge and make a salad every day.
Yeah, cooking's your jam, girl. Do it.
Yeah,
do it.
Totally.
Yeah.
So there's a way around everything. It's prioritizing and knowing what fits your lifestyle. That's mainly it.
And I think that's the huge benefit, is that individualization, what's working, what's not, implementing sleep hygiene, exercise regimen. Again, how do I exercise if I'm in the school pickup line for 2 hours a day and then sitting in volleyball practice? Well, there's things you can do while you're at volleyball practice. So there's a number of ways of working around your specific lifestyle and how Rania can best serve you. So that's really, really exciting. Okay, so you have like a new certification, and you're telling me you're revamping your program, you're revamping your method of counseling, dealing much more also with like emotional implications 100%. Towards our relationship with our body physique and food intake, right? So all of it. Tell me, I'm excited.
Yes. So we first started, I did basically mostly nutrition counseling, right? So then I started seeing a lot of clients that will lose the weight, feel great for a while, all this stuff, then come back to me and be like, well, I gained it back. Okay, so what's happening there? So I wanted to deep dive more into this. So I'm getting my life certification, life coaching certification, which is the next level of human coaching by Dr. Jay Tita. And he is, it's all about getting deep into like what's behind this. So what is making you, what's pushing you to go back into your old patterns, like your repeated patterns, your stuck emotions.
Because we know we suck at it. We know what we should be doing and we don't do it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
why? You know you're supposed to eat healthy. You know you're supposed to not eat processed and junk, but you go back and eat it. Why? So that's where like everybody has their own things that we deal with, coming from different backgrounds. Like I come from Lebanon. I've been through a war. Like I could
like actual legit. This girl can tell you stories. It's wild. Yeah.
Yes, not funny ones, but Anyway, so we all have things stuck in our past that we kind of don't know, that we put it in a box and we kind of shut it down in our little back in our head, and we're like, oh, we're fine, but they're coming out in different places.
Generational stuff too. And I think that there's this like aura, kind of tree bending, earth loving vibration frequency. But I think there is something to it that we are not as familiar with in the mainstream, but without like hugging your local friendly crystals necessarily, but really understanding how these generational things do affect us. And I've kind of always poo-pooed it. No, I'm my own woman. I'm my own person. I make my own path. But as I'm seeing my children grow and certain things that they have a propensity for, I'm like, oh, that's generational for sure, because you've never seen that for me. And this is crap my deceased parents used to do. And I'm like, where else would you have picked this up?
Yeah.
It's like, it's wild. Yeah. So I think there is something that we can tap into, again, without going so far off the reservation that we're really getting into things that are maybe you're not as comfortable with, or you're like, okay, I can do a little bit of yoga, but like seriously, I don't want to do all of this, tree huggy Birkenstock wearing stuff. But to tap into it enough to know that there is a healing power to that understanding, and then making a step towards changing, and then to see the results and know that it's playing forward towards that next generation, or in our interpersonal relationships, friendships that can 100%. Struggle. And then particularly going through that phase of perimenopause and menopause, which I've become very attached to as I'm going through this process, to understand that certain things will then come up to the surface that I thought had been dealt with and clearly are not. And that's okay. And to be in a place where you're safe to be able to have those discussions. Because I love to be there for patients as much as I can with an empathetic ear to be able to help them work through some of these traumas. But I'm not a trained counselor. I'm not a psychotherapist. So there are elements that we can come play back into the biochemistry of, well, also you have no estrogen. So if we replace some of that, that can help in a number of ways. But then to work with somebody like Rania, who's had this specific training, to say this is how X trauma or history past plays into how you're playing this out with health choices. Exactly. It's really remarkable. It's fascinating.
The connection. I love connecting both, because when I'm dealing with a client and talking to them, like it's always, I want to know the story. I want to know where that.
Yeah.
But then to give them the tools to deal with it is what I didn't know before. So now learning those tools and learning like, okay, maybe you can start doing XYZ, and then, let's change your food as we go, and, with the medication or whatever, or HRT or whatever they're doing with you, because like they said, like divorce rates are higher when you're going through menopause, right?
Oh, I have no doubt. I have apologized to my husband so many times out of the clear blue sky. I'm like, I'm just sorry for the next 4 years, babe. I love you so much. You're the best, and you're the right one for me. Thanks. Please stick around. Stay tuned for the next episode, because this episode sucks. Yeah, it's rough. This is a rough time.
It is a rough time, and to just have a listening ear, like no judgment, and then to have the tools to help you navigate through that time.
Yes,
it's gonna be huge, and I'm so happy to have the ability to learn all this stuff, and actually combining those two. And then, with your, background, and your also like your effort with them, all the support that they can get with both of us will be amazing. Yeah. So I
think it's incredible.
love putting those two together because there's nothing perfect unless you tackle it from like mind, body, and of course the
Spirit.
medicine. Yeah,
Yeah,
spirit,
for
all
sure.
that stuff.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
And I think you touched on one of these things is having the tools to deal with it.
Mhm.
Because I think a lot of counseling, and don't get me wrong, I think therapists are amazing. We're gonna have Brenna on here. She's our neighbor in the office building, and she's incredible what she offers for patients. Counseling can be great. A listening, empathetic ear, somebody to tell you, hey, this is normal. Oh, you just broke up with your boyfriend. I know, girl, that can be so tough. You're going to get better. It's better on the other side. You know, like, this is good. These things are all good, coping skills and so forth. But the key is to have a tool to deal with it, right? So if I sit here and I check your genetic markers, for example, for some type of cancer, and then I give you no tools to deal with it, now I've just added an additional burden.
Yes.
Okay, so now I've heard your life trauma of how you came from the Dust Bowl era and there was starvation in the 1920s and you're still having like food scavenging as a result of it. Okay, great. How do I work through that? Well, I have no idea, right? With my level of training, I don't know what that's from, but certainly with Rania's training now to be able to present tools towards a patient, client, and be able to say, hey, this is how you can work through. Yes, I've seen this before. You are not alone, and that there are effective ways of navigating this so that we can get you onto the other side of optimal health and remembering what our why is. And I think that those are really, really big things.
100%. And there's a place for everybody, like you were saying. Like a therapist can come in, and do her thing. It's a very, that's why like we should put a retreat together and get all these.
Yes, we're talking about this. Yes.
That would be fun, and it would be so rewarding for everybody.
Yes.
And so beneficial because I went to retreats and I'll be like, oh, fine, I don't need all that.
I don't need all this.
By the end of it, I'm crying. Things are
Girl,
coming out.
I'm telling you, every time my kids come home from camp and they sing camp songs I sang as a kid, I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember the campfire. It was so great. Yeah. I mean, there's stuff that, and it doesn't have to be bad, right? Their tears aren't always bad. I think it's repairing. I think it's restorative. It can be cleansing. And, you know, it allows us to tap into areas that we've maybe compartmentalized. It's my favorite coping mechanism. Not always helpful. You know, so there's definite avenues where I think that Rania's services are super helpful for sure. So, I mean, just the growth. And this is the other thing that I love is that Rania continues to learn. She continues to grow in her profession and in her path. And it's what I do in my world. And I remember sitting in medical school seats and I'm like, I didn't sit in two seats at the same time, right? I sat in one seat and then a different seat. So when I was sitting in those classrooms and thinking, I don't want to be the doctor who practices medicine from 20 years ago.
Yes.
So as I'm learning this now today, I made a vow to myself that I wanted to continue growing and learning. So whatever new they learned about hypertension, I wanted to know about. Whatever new thing they learned about breast cancer, I wanted to know about. And while at some point you have to recognize you can't stay up on the current for all things all the time, you want to then surround yourself with a network of people who can address that now. So as we're learning more about the effects of nutrition, sleep hygiene, exercise regimen, stress reducers, generational issues, prior past traumas personally, all of these kind of things, let Rania take the lead on that, and I can continue learning about hormone replacement therapy and biotoxin illness and, you know, some of these other things from a medical standpoint, and then I build out my network with other folks for the other things like hypertension.
And that's how we connected. I think like we're both very growth-minded.
Yes.
And we're both like, oh, what is she learning now? Oh, I need to like,
tell me.
I'm like always like, I'm so excited to hear when you're learning about something, and then you're excited to hear what I'm learning, and we bring, you know, both of us together. It's like we're trying to keep up with the times and not be like the 20-year
something for, you know, just do South Beach, just get the book, here you go, sign it for you, and do that.
No. But that's the growth mindset that people want to, you know, I think that will benefit others, because you don't want to be like just the by the book kind of thing. If I was by the book or you were by the book, then we would have been like, here, take this medicine, take this, eat this, and you're done. Well, no, you'd like to know more about obviously your client. That's why you have this practice and you're not working at a hospital or whatnot. And I like to know more also to kind of, you know, give them the best care. So we definitely kind of get along on that
Yes,
part.
absolutely. So hopefully you'll check out Rania's bio. She's on our website. I think we have a link to your website, don't we? If we don't, we're
Yeah.
going to put it up there.
So the medilifestyle.com, and also we have the metabolic program.
Yes, okay, so we are offering this. So again, we've had kind of the metabolic program here and there throughout we've always had it. But it continues to grow and change. So if you've even done it before, if you've counseled with Rania before, she's giving you tips, tricks, helped you on that journey. And we call it metabolic program specifically because it's not geared towards weight loss, though I will tell you most of our patients do want to do it for weight loss.
Right.
But a lot of it is also just directional training. Where do I go? What am I supposed to be eating? Is organic really worth the investment? Where do I buy my foods? How can I locally source stuff? So,
it's a holistic program, really.
Yes, it really is for your whole health. And then as a side effect, if you need to lose weight, then oftentimes you will, because we're getting your whole health straightened out. And so it's been revamped. So you want to speak a little bit to that?
Continues to, yeah. So it's a 6-week. We planned it around the holidays if you want to get like your summer weight, but you can do it anytime, honestly. And it's a 6-week program. You get all the medical labs and everything done, and then you can come to me and we can meet every other week, and it's all accountability. I'm going to be like following up with you, checking in on you, all these things, giving you tools and tips and meals and all this stuff. And yeah, people are like, clients are getting really good results from it.
Yes, it's been
so
fantastic.
Please call the office and ask about it, and let us know. And I'm on Instagram at Health Coach Rania. If you have any questions for me, just shoot me questions.
And we'll put all of her Instagram tag, her medilifestyle.org.
medilifestyle.com. We'll write
so
it down.
Yeah, it'll be down there in the description as well. And then make comments down below, guys. Make sure you're liking, share this. We're a fairly new channel. Okay, we're a new old channel.
Yeah, but
we did this like 4 years ago, and I sucked at it, and then the whole pandemic, so I got sidetracked, and now we're back. But we want to educate, we want to help grow, so that we can grow the education in our community, so we can be a more healthful community. And I think that people are finally getting on board with understanding that our health is in our own hands, and that we just need to surround ourselves with people who understand that mindset and will help get you towards it.
Yes, and let us know any questions, any struggles, anything you guys want us to talk about, and Dr. Jackie to talk about next.
We'll do it next. Yeah, give
us
suggestions. All right, guys, take care. I hope you found this helpful. We'll see you next time.